about the history of those Deep Space Nine mugs. Or let me put it this way, the mugs that were made famous by Deep Space Nine. However, there's a little bit more to this whole thing, and today I want to tell you about the history of these and also a little bit of another situation that involved around these. So first of all, these mugs were not designed by the prop makers of Deep Space Nine. These mugs were made by two guys from California. They formed a company called Feldman and Langer, and they made the first mugs actually in the late 70s. And this one here, for example, this is originally packed, and it comes out really difficult because I do not want to damage the original packaging. Here we go. So this guy here is from 1979, and this was one of the original no-spill mugs. They filed a patent for this guy in the early 80s. I think the patent was filed in 1985. And as you can see, it has a lot of maritime things on it, like flags. And it even came with this little lid here, which basically was they call it, I think, a mug-made cap for heat retention or something like this. Then we have this guy here. This one is from 1983. This one you can also see in several episodes of Babylon 5. Then in 1982, they came out with designs like this. This one has bunnies on it. And here you can actually see a company name called Barely Surviving. And copyright is 1982. So the only thing I found on Barely Surviving is they also had a trademark. The trademark expired in 1988. As far as I know, because on this mug here, there's a little paper on it that actually says, "We would like to thank you for purchasing the original Barely Surviving No Spill, No Slide mug." And then a lot of blah, blah, blah. And then it says, "Marinite motor mugs are manufactured only by Feldman Langer Inc." So I do assume that Barely Surviving, I think it was actually formed by the guys from Feldman Langer. Then we also have this design here with penguins. This is also from 1982. So just FYI, these here go on eBay for like $20, $25, something in that range. This one I bought off Etsy. That one was an originally 70s mug. I'll explain in a second why I know that this one is made from the 70s. It got glazed blue. This one I bought for $300. This one here I bought for $150. So the difference between these and these ones here is that people of Etsy, and this one came from Poshmark, actually say, "Oh, this is the Deep Space Nine mug, and this is the Deep Space Nine mug." The reason why I know that this one is from the 70s and this one is from the 80s is because of the thickness of this here. Because when you look at this mug here, you see the thickness here, and then you have an 83 mug. This is way thicker. Here's our mug. This is the one that you guys know that we started selling last year, that kind of blew up because of several articles early this year. I thank everybody for supporting us on this. This was an amazing run and we love it, and we have a new run coming. So the interesting thing about this, and this is very, very, very important to understand, these mugs were never made for the show. These mugs were never designed by prop makers from Star Trek. Their patent from Feldman Langer expired in 1999. They are public domain now. You can do with them whatever you want. Everybody can make these mugs as long as you don't have anything Star Trek on it. We went a little bit further. We put a quote on there. We put on the first run, "Come to Quarks. Quarks is fun. Come right now. Don't walk around." As you know, we have, since almost 10 years, we have a license for Star Trek. And we do mouse pads, we do keyboards, we do lamps, we do computer cases, we do computers. We do a lot of things. And I absolutely love doing licensed work because people need to be paid for their IPs. Where I kind of draw the line is when people who did not design something out of a sudden say, "We want money for this." When I wanted to do these mugs, I asked Paramounts for years, "Can I do these mugs?" And the only answer I got was no. They never told me why. They just said no. Then eventually we started digging into this. We started Googling, we talked to lawyers, we found their expired patents. Everybody said, just do it. It's public domain. You can do with it whatever you want. Just don't put a Star Trek logo on it. So we had a bunch of these made. We never called this mug the Star Trek Deep Space Nine Raktajino mug. We call it the If You Know, You Know mug, for obvious reasons. A few weeks ago, I'm getting an email from Paramount that reads, so my reaction to this was not angry, it wasn't pissed or anything. I just wrote them a little bit of context to that. I told them, this is not your right to give. This is public domain. They've almost been around for 50 years. The original manufacturers don't even exist anymore. Yet they want me to pay royalties on these. I explained this to him. The person who wrote me this is super nice. It's one of the nicest people I've ever worked with, Paramount. The reply I got was basically like, thank you for the context, I will dig into this. I haven't heard from them since. The one thing that gets me with this is they told me that another licensees want to do this. I do think it's not true. If somebody does it, the only way they can grant a license, and this is very borderline, putting here a Star Trek logo on it or a Deep Space Nine logo. The problem I see with this is not an original proper replica, because in the show there were no logos on it. It was simply a blue mug. The original Feldman Langer mugs came in all kind of colors. They came in black, they came in green, they came in white, they came with paintings on it. It's extremely hard to tell. Did they make them blue for the show? Because I read in one article once that somebody said one of the prop makers painted them blue. My only problem with this, when you look at the show, the mugs are also blue on the inside. And on some shots, you actually see that there's liquid in it and they actually drink it. Would they make an actor drink necessarily out of a painted mug in the 90s? I'm not sure. I could not find any reference that actually proves that claim that they were painted, but I also couldn't find anything that Feldman Langer ever made a real blue mug. They made dark blue mugs. That being said, our blue is even slightly different than the one from the show. The one thing I want to say here is we will not stop making these because they are public domain. If you want to make these mugs, do so. I really encourage you. If you find something like this that is public domain and you want to make something, make it. That being said, thank you for your support with these little guys. We had a real blast with it. The new run is coming very, very soon. And thank you.